What's going on, Petra?
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you today?
I'm all right. I'm not going to complain.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
How
man.
about you?
I'm good. It's been a hell of a week.
Really? What's been so different? What made it a hell of a week? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing. I got a
Okay.
lot accomplished.
Okay. That's always a good thing.
That's always a really good thing. So I'm excited about that.
Okay.
What else? Let's see. What else was there? I don't know. I can't think of nothing now.
Hey, at least you don't have any no bad things. So
No bad
that's
things.
a good thing
No bad things. All good.
in itself. Yeah.
It's all good up through these parts, you know.
We made it. Waiting on that snow.
Yeah, supposedly. Allegedly.
Waiting on the snow.
Yeah.
See if we're going to have another little white weekend. But
yeah.
Other than that, everything's good.
All right. Okay. Well,
so
you know how that goes.
What we doing today? What?
Same thing we do every time we podcast, Petra. We're going to shoot the
shit. Pinky in the brain when it's just the two of us sometimes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
And here comes the question of the day.
So the question of the day is, what is it or was it about your person that set them apart from everybody else that made you settle down with them, be with them, choose them when you could have chose others?
Wow. I don't know that I've. I guess even if it's not what it probably should have ended up being or whatever, but I think the actual being there in a way that another person would have chose to dip, as T.I. would say, expeditiously, with the circumstances that were surrounding me at the time. Like, somebody else probably would not have been able to understand what was going on in my life, and would have taken it as a threat instead of a commitment and what I needed to do as a person. Just in general, they would have felt away. They would have felt like I was putting value or placing them second.
Okay.
With what was going on in my life. And so that part of them that stayed while I was in a whirlwind in my life made them kind of valuable.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. So I definitely can relate to that. I understand that. For me, I would say that the thing that set my person apart was the fact that they were stable, they were sane. Mentally stable and sane.
Yeah, I probably should have checked the sanity because that didn't. But yeah.
Yeah. And they just, they understood some things about my life. Things that would have caused a lot of people to shy away and pull away. So, they accepted me for who I was, where I was, which is major.
Yeah. But I guess basically that's the same thing, maybe totally different.
Yeah.
Scenarios or whatever, backstories, but basically that's it. They accepted me for where I was in that point in my life. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that unfortunately I feel like a lot of people would answer that question with sex, and if they were honest, monetary gain or things of that nature. But
yeah, but does that really, I guess in today's society, that really may make someone stay. But
yeah,
if you can buy me things and take me out and all that stuff, and not to say that stuff wasn't in place, that we weren't having a good time and everything. But when the rubber meets the road, and it was some real life ish going on, and they were like, all right, I got you. Not in a financial way or a physical, like, okay, I'm gonna take care of your sexual needs or whatever type thing, but like, you got everybody else and I got you. So I'm not gonna be responsible for everybody else, and what everybody else is going through. It's not really important to me, but you're important to me, and I got you. So it was a situation where you know, I was holding everybody else up, but there was nobody holding me up, and they chose to stay and kind of hold me up. So I think that places more value than monetary value,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. All right, well, you know how we do about this time.
And here's the shenanigans.
Welcome to the Cognac Room.
So here's what I will say. Today's topic is a good one.
Okay.
It is. It's a really good one, and as a matter of fact, it's so good that I got to do this before we even get to it. Air horn time. Yeah.
The king of doing too much. That's what
Always,
he is, ladies.
Always,
ladies and gentlemen, the king of doing too much.
Always. So the question, not the question, but the topic. The topic is, why are we so obsessed with toxic relationships?
That shit is fun.
No, it is. You're absolutely right.
That is one of the main answers.
That's one of the main reasons.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Exciting. It's exhilarating. Like you don't know what's next, or you do know what's next. And even though you're like, oh my God, he about to do this, and then I can't stand when a nigga be tripping.
You don't really know what's next. You just know it's drama.
No, yeah, but you know that.
You don't know what type of drama. It's mysterious.
So
it's the mystique.
You're like, oh, I don't know, he tripping or whatever. It's still like he about to make some rah-rah over me.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's a big deal.
It's exhilarating.
Making some rah-rah over.
Yeah.
So
I feel like love and excitement, drugs, alcohol, addictions, they all work on the same receptors in the brain. And so sometimes we get addicted to sex. Sometimes we get addicted to drama and, the feeling of butterflies. And some people get addicted to the feeling of dread. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but and it's as unpleasant as it is sometimes when there's an absence of it, things just don't sit right. You know what I mean? So I feel like, well, first of all, let's identify what toxic relationships really are and what toxicity really looks like. Because as you stated,
I can't stand it, but go ahead. You lead us in.
As you stated, a dude leave the top off the toothpaste, and you got a chick text her home girl. He left the top off the toothpaste again. I can't wait to get out of this toxic ass relationship.
That's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Those are everyday little things, and I think we have become a society that has started labeling everything, no matter how big or small, toxic when it comes to relationships. Like Jay said, you leave the top off the toothpaste. Oh, he toxic. He don't ever even, he got the toothpaste in the sink where he spit and he didn't rinse it down and he left the top off. I don't even know if I could do this and deal with a man who's like that. That means he's this, and this. And it's like, no, that means he just don't put the top on the toothpaste.
Exactly.
And he might be a little lazy. It might be some other things, but I wouldn't label that as toxic.
Can't label that as toxic.
And people are doing that with everything.
Absolutely.
Left his he sleep with his socks on. That's some toxic shit right there.
Right.
Like,
and
come on.
And then it'll be something simple too. Some more simple shit that they just make fucking unnecessary would be something like, say for example, okay, he came in and had the nerve to say something about me burning the food, or he had the nerve to say something to me about not cleaning up the closet or cleaning up behind myself. Like, this shit ain't toxic. These are
adult behaviors.
This should be addressed.
I said something about you burning the food, but I might not have been. I wasn't. Was I attacking you about burning the food? Or
you just like babe, you burn it again. Are you actually watching the stove while you're cooking, or are you distracted? You know what I'm saying? Are you being distracted, or are you doing too many things at one time? Do we need to try to, figure out a way to keep this from happening? But that's a conversation that should be had, because I am not going to keep eating burnt ass food. I'm not.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think we've gotten so comfortable in labeling everything toxic.
Yeah.
That might be annoying, but I don't think it's toxic.
Not toxic. Because discussions need to be had. If you're going to keep
burning things, are you, like you said, are you not watching it? Are you in a different room or whatever? You could burn the house down.
Exactly.
So maybe I'm just trying to say, at this point, I might even say, don't even cook. I got it. I'm gonna order in. Or I might say something totally different.
Let's get to the bottom of this.
Exactly.
Shit.
So that wouldn't per se be toxic. I think when we think about toxic, we have to think about, somebody that is mentally abusive or physically abusive or continually doing something that they know hurts you or, puts you in a bad headspace.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that pushes your buttons into negativity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even if they aren't, per se coming at you in a toxic way, they know to do things that will push your buttons to make you lash out. And then you're both going rah, 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 rah. That type of stuff is more so toxic than I think the little things that we are, that we have named and that people have been naming.
Yeah.
And labeling toxic.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad to say that a lot of people do get comfortable in toxic relationships. You get comfortable. Matter of fact, what is the movie? Why Did I Get Married? Which I know has been all over the place because of Ghost this weekend with that table scene. But that table scene was full of toxic relationships.
Oh,
in
toxic.
Real life. That
Mother-child dynamics.
It was just
toxic sibling relationships.
That's from Power, but I'm talking about the Why Did I Get Married movie. Because was it Angela and dude?
Mm-hmm.
They were so toxic because they just were like you didn't get a venereal disease from her. You got it from Walter. I got it, but I got a shot. That's some toxic shit. That's some toxic shit.
That's super.
You know what I'm saying?
Toxic. Yeah.
And we ain't even gonna talk about Gloria and driving up that damn mountain and him letting the friend sit next to him on the plane and telling her she got to get him. Toxic.
He was fucking her.
Well, toxic.
Very toxic.
That's what
cheating
you label as
in and
toxic.
of itself. It was as if cheating in and of itself wasn't toxic enough.
The
you brought her on the trip.
Let me tell you what's better not happen. Like certain things, cheating is bad. People don't like it.
It's frowned upon.
It's frowned upon. Even though it's an old age. People been doing this since the dawn of time. It still shocks everybody that gets cheated on. They still so damn shocked. And what's crazy is, people like to say, well, I couldn't be me, never be me, da-da-da. It's been everybody. Shit, your mama probably took somebody's man. Everybody does that, but that's the circle of life. And I think I talked to you about that one time. Like, everybody belonged to somebody else at some point or had somebody else's heart, and then you came or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's just the circle of life. But to bring somebody on a trip with you, first of all, why are we bringing friends? It's a couple trip, and I'm gonna bring this one chick. You gonna convince me to bring this one chick with me,
man?
But you ain't bringing none of your bros with you to play with her or nothing like that. Like, come on,
yeah, that shit.
But that it's toxic because her self-esteem said it was okay. And in real life, you would have asked Angela or any of those other women that were on that trip, and they'd have been like, "Bitch, no."
So, and I think it was toxic behaviors on both ends. Her being cool with the shit, but him thinking he could even try that shit or get away with the shit. It was ridiculous.
But what I read about the toxic relationship, it makes you go into a shell. It makes you, undermine yourself and not value yourself. And I think that's where she was at in that particular part of the relationship. Because
your will is broken. Yeah. You've been beat down.
Exactly.
Basically, it's like breaking a wild horse.
Exactly. Yeah. And so she felt like, if this will stop him from fussing at me or whatever, he enjoys her company as much as I do.
God damn.
It's, like she was broke.
Shit. Well,
she was bent completely.
He mismanaged his opportunity then.
So he should have been asking for a threesome.
Yeah.
But in his mind, it would have been a foursome because he felt like Gloria was two people. Which,
I'm not
toxic.
Season of not. I'm not.
But I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that's his mindset in that movie.
I do. I get it.
Which that's my boy. Like I can't even remember his name. He don't get enough credit for being that dude. Like, because he is.
Yeah.
He is just the attitude that he gives off in so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Like even in the Brothers.
Yeah.
No, not the Brothers. The Wood.
The Wood. That's what it was. The Wood. Yeah.
Like he still has that kind of toxic masculinity, but it's again, here we go. It's something a little bit sexy about it that draws you to him.
Yeah.
And so, it's I don't know what it is with. I know women do it, but what is it with men? Like, do men have
Oh, we love
little
little crazy toxic women because for whatever reason, when you see a woman that exhibits toxic behavior, it automatically triggers something sexual in your brain. And you think she a little wild child. She crazy. She probably crazy in the bedroom. And usually the more toxic a woman is, the better the sex is. I don't know why.
If she's not toxic, is the sex not good?
No, that's so if she's not toxic.
Let me go ahead and smack a nigga.
If she's not toxic, it could go either way. Okay. But generally speaking, when a woman is toxic and exhibits toxic behavior, especially early on, it's like a challenge. We want to conquer that, and we just know like she crazy. She gonna have some good stuff. Because I'm telling you, like some of the
what does they say back in the day, breaking the buck or whatever. Like
exactly,
wow.
exactly, yeah, wow. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
So I did see something where they said mismanagement of money or negative financial behaviors is a toxic trait.
That's a toxic trait to yourself,
so sure. Well, okay, let me read this. It says sharing finances with a partner often involves some level of agreement about how you'll spend or save money. That said, it's not necessarily toxic if one partner chooses to spend money on items and the other partner doesn't approve. It can be toxic though if you come into an agreement about your finances and one partner consistently disrespects the agreement, whether by purchasing a big ticket item or by withdrawing large sums of money.
So I had that experience.
Is that toxic though?
Yeah, it is. Okay, so listen, picture it, Sicily.
It's just irresponsible or selfish. It's not necessarily.
I almost drove us off a bridge, goddamn, over that shit.
Well, you was a toxic motherfucker.
No, they were toxic because they were using finances that were deemed for the household or whatever. Mm-hmm. Never had an issue with, spending of money. Like nobody ever had to ask about money or whatever. Checks went in and you did what you needed to do or what you wanted to do, long as the bills were paid.
Right.
But it got to a point where there was so much being spent for no reason and it was unaccounted for. It was unaccounted for in a manner that it needed to be. Like, so I remember going to the bank or whatever to do something or whatever and to withdraw money or whatever to do something. That was pretty important. And there were not enough funds in there.
Money gone.
But the thing is, it wouldn't have been toxic for you to say, whoa, we can't do this because I spent this, and this.
Yeah.
But because we went all the way there and everything, and you knew that you would have won. That had. It was a problem. It was a problem. And I literally was like, I would drive this car off a bridge if I thought I could get the
on fire tonight.
Like, you have lost your mind. Like, but in that instance, I didn't keep going. Like, little things happened a couple of times, but I was like, yeah, this can't happen anymore. We're going to change the dynamics of how our finances
I don't know if that's toxic as much as it may be. To me, it falls more in the line of irresponsibility, and maybe irresponsibility could be considered toxic.
Yes,
when I look at toxic, I think more so like using finances to control your partner as being more of a toxic trait.
That I get.
You know what I mean?
I understand that, but it controlled me because we couldn't move. Goddamn it, we couldn't do the things that we needed to do. So it was controlling. It put us in a place where we were stuck.
Yeah,
and it would be now. This was not something that was a regular habit. Later on, I figured out what it. I understand where it came from, but in the moment,
well, help me understand. What was it?
Because of an illness, it was making them forgettable.
Oh, okay, got
you.
And so that's it. And then that still classifies as toxic when it's
no, but I found that out down the line.
Yeah,
I didn't
but
understand that in the time. Like like at one point in my life, I used to say I hate watches because Like they were like, okay, I like this watch. I know you're a watch person. Okay, cool. I don't care about you. Like, cause like I said, it was never a question. You can do what you
Well,
want
a
to
lot
do.
of guys will watch people. I'm a
Yeah,
watch guy.
but don't
so,
buy the
yeah.
same watch 3 times because you keep feeling like you lost.
Oh shit.
So
okay.
yeah, like things like that. It was just weird stuff. But again, like I said, down the line, it was understood why things like that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
But in the moment, I just know that you're setting us back financially.
Right.
And you don't remember or understand why yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's kind of like crack, but it's not. But you know what I'm saying? Like it makes you question things or whatever. But it wasn't anything like that. But it just, I feel like I didn't let it. I didn't let it remain toxic. I didn't let it consume me. Once I realized what was going on, the finances and how we dealt with finances had to be adjusted, and then we were fine.
Yeah.
So it didn't continue, and it was understood when we talked about it that hey, you can't kind of have the same access because of this, and this. And
how did that go over?
It went over fine. Like, one thing I will say, they were very understanding in certain things, and when I think there was a little bit of a power shift where they had been in control of certain things for a very long time or whatever, and they understood that, okay, I am not really capable right now of making, decisions that are not benefiting the family. And so it was understood. It was, everything, it was a little bit of a struggle or whatever, but the major part of it was understood. But again, I think that's because they weren't toxic, because there was an understanding in the relationship. Things were talked about and worked through where we looked at other people and was like, I don't ever want to be like that, because we saw so many toxic relationships around us. And so we made a point not to be like those people, and to learn from their mistakes and communicating and fighting and even the cheating and all of that kind of stuff, how to deal with it. I think what happens with stuff that's toxic, the adrenaline rush becomes more valuable than the actual relationship and the love. You're so busy waiting for, like, what's going to happen? What we going to do? Are we going to argue about this? Are we going to, you know what I'm saying?
Which is the whole thing where you get this thing of, I like it when we fight because of the makeup sex type shit. That's some toxic shit. In my opinion,
And
that's
so
toxic.
many
Now,
people-
don't get me wrong. Makeup sex
might be
is
true.
wonderful, but it's toxic as shit.
But so
That's a
many
toxic
people really
pattern.
like that.
Yeah.
So many people live by that, swear by
Yeah.
that. Like the makeup sex.
I believe that whether consciously or subconsciously, there are those who purposely create opportunities to have makeup sex.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard people say they purposely, get into that squabble, make it, just enough
Wow.
to where they, the makeup sex will be better.
I don't know if I like it that much.
I don't think I've never been.
I don't know if I like
I'm mad,
makeup
I'm mad.
sex enough
Yeah,
to deliberately start a fucking argument.
exactly. Because
Like,
that takes
that's
too
some
much
toxic
energy.
shit.
It takes
That's-
a lot of
yeah.
energy. It takes, like, especially if you don't really want to argue. But like, I feel like that's toxic in itself. If to get the sex you want, you got to start a fight.
Yeah.
But you can't just get it.
But it's been said more times than not. Women have said it. You've heard it. I hear it all the time. It's the toxic motherfuckers that give them the best sex. In a lot of cases, not all, but it's a case by case thing. But what I
You
will
do
say,
that. They say, good dick is toxic. It's hooked to a toxic nigga. Good dick is usually hooked to a toxic.
and I'm not sure I understand that. Well, I guess from the female perspective, I do. Story time.
Like the head here go.
Yes. Met a young lady, started talking to her, brought her to the house, had relations with her. It was amazing. Okay? Amazing. I should have known at that moment.
Because it was amazing.
Yeah, because of how amazing it was. So then there was a second time, and the second time was better than the first or just as good. But what was weird about it was I was well seasoned in sex. I was far from a virgin. I'd slept with my number of women. But every time I touched this particular girl, it was like I was having sex for the very first time in my life.
Wow.
So you know how they talk about chasing the dragon.
He was on a heroin high.
I was listen that, but like I was chasing the dragon, but like it was like I caught the fucking dragon, and every time I had the dragon by the horns, right? So I remember one night we were on the phone. She was like, "I'm coming to see you." I was like, "No, I'm going out with my boys or whatever." No, motherfucker, you talking shit. I've told this story, and then I had a fence around my house, and my driveway was gated in. You know what I'm saying? So if someone pulled behind me between the gate, I couldn't get out. She pulled in and, came to the door, wouldn't let me out or whatever. And then we went through this thing. She kicked me in my nuts and all this stuff. And then I threatened to call the cops. So I did get her to leave. But then she comes back later while I'm gone. And when I come home, I see like panties and a negligee on the back porch. Like, yeah, it was crazy. But even after that, no, I never slept with her again. I never dealt with her again, but I wanted to. She wouldn't fuck with me. I was like, oh, I'm so glad she's gone. I'm done with her. And then I'm sitting there and I'm scrolling my phone. And I'm like, oh God.
Wow. You needed another
So
round.
I reached out to her, man. I went to grave extents to get back in contact with this girl. And she was like, oh, yeah, no, leave me alone. I'm in a relationship now. And I didn't care, man. I was like, man, in my mind, I'm like, she going to give me some more of this. But
the cookies was that good.
The cookies were that good, but she was a lunatic. And then she went and lied. And so she eventually, within that same time frame, she went to jail. So much into the point where she actually went to her family and lied to them. And told them, so she went to jail. Mm-hmm. Oh. She told one of her family members that I had her put in jail. I threatened to call the police, never called the police. Mm-hmm. I may have pretended to call the police, but the girl said she actually went to jail. Somebody had to go get her out. And she said, I was the one. I was the motherfucker.
Like you put a warrant or something out on her.
Come on, man.
Kudos to her for having, obviously some stellar top tier unicorn cookies, freshly made out the box.
Fresh out the box. Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, basically.
I feel like we all know somebody we've been the person in toxic relationships. Like Jay just said, what do you felt like she was toxic? You didn't think you were toxic in any way?
I was definitely not toxic towards her.
But you were chasing her. You were chasing that toxic energy.
So maybe I guess that did make me toxic.
Yeah, it was a toxic relationship on both ends because even though you thought she was crazy and all this other stuff, you were willing to deal with some of that.
Yeah, I was willing to deal with crazy to go to heaven a couple more times.
Do you think as your life went on that you stayed a person who liked somebody a little bit crazy or like the toxic or whatever?
No, I grew out of that shit, but not. It was a while before I grew out of that shit.
I chased a few more dragons.
Yeah, I chased a few more dragons. Okay. Absolutely. I don't know. I feel like a lot of us actually have. I refer to it as toxic traits, but I guess it would be more accurate to say that we sometimes do toxic shit. Yeah. I think everybody does toxic shit.
I was told that I wasn't toxic, but I do toxic shit. Like
that makes sense. That makes sense. I agree. People do toxic shit.
Yeah, and I was like, to hear it, and when you feel like you try to be a good person, you try not to do those things, you try to acknowledge those behaviors and recognize and self-reflect and everything, and to still hear somebody say, "Nah, you do toxic shit," is like, huh? What? Yeah, whatever. But I feel like the toxic that was told to me, that was claimed as toxic, was something that I had said up front. Like, I'm a brat. Like, I'm a spoiled kid. I'm a daddy's girl. I'm the baby. I'm like, yeah. And so there are sometimes when I want my way, and I want my way to the point of pouting and tantrums. I don't really have tantrums, but I will pout my ass off. Like,
but see, and I had a homeboy who said this, and I'm not, here's the disclaimer.
Uh-oh.
I'm not knocking, public assistance or people who live in public housing or anything like that, because
some people really do need them.
Yeah, some people really need it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't know who
and
is
then
who,
you
so
don't know
we're
because
not
people are
knocking
just
anybody.
posing these days like, I need my rent to be $14 when you could afford to pay for a real, for some real rent. You know what I mean? But
not these days, but yeah,
more than
real
14.
regular rent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Regular rent.
Rent these
But
days is not regular. That shit
that's
is
true.
regular.
That's true. But so I'm not throwing stones. I'm not knocking. But I have to say, I'm quoting someone. A good friend of mine said, how he met a young lady because you said you were spoiled, and I know from your situation, like, that's it presented it was a situation where it was very easy to be spoiled, but not everybody who says that they're spoiled comes from that type of situation or has that type of situation in their life. So what my buddy said, he was like, man, I met this chick, you know what I'm saying? He was like, she talking about she's spoiled. You've been in public housing your entire fucking life. And you know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third, just some statements about her family life or whatever. How the fuck was you spoiled and your mama on public assistance and y'all got $14 rent? I think
But
14.
you know why? You know why she's spoiled? Because my mom got $14 rent. So I can spend the rest of my money on you. So you can.
But that's people that's in public housing that don't really need the shit.
Yeah. Well, I ain't going to say they don't need it.
I mean, if you really need that shit.
They could do better, but it's like it's $14, so why am I fuck it up? That I think it's more so.
So his point was, you can't possibly really be spoiled because y'all struggling.
You would want better
because y'all struggling. Yeah.
With somebody that's spoiled, they want to keep reaching the next level.
Right.
So I guess what he was possibly trying to say is you can't be spoiled and you still stuck in the same mindset.
You don't want more,
place.
you don't want better, you just like fuck
not
it.
only do you not want more, it's a generational thing because you are the child. You were the child at some point and your parents didn't. If you grew up in this same household your entire life for your whole elementary to high school, then that means your parents were comfortable.
Yep.
Which made you comfortable. And so you may not, we're not saying, you may not do much more because you're comfortable with that and that's your way of life. But, that's not everybody.
Not everybody. And I'm not saying he was right. I'm not saying he was wrong. I'm just making an observation. That was his take on the shit. But I don't know. I feel like people are addicted to toxic relationships because, like you said, the adrenaline rush, the excitement, because women bore very easily. Let me explain something to you. Women bore so fucking easy. They could have a good dude. This man pays the bills. He buys you shit. He takes you on dates. He's not horrible in the bedroom, but he's not an exciting individual. He's a routine type motherfucker.
Routine does get boring sometimes.
Right? And then you got Kwambi.
Kwambi, he is a name picker for you. Don't let him name your children.
No, don't. And Kwambi comes through. Kwambi is a wild child. Kwambi want to fuck you in the car. He want to take you in the gas station bathroom on your lunch break and fuck you. He want to, you know what I'm saying? He's doing all the stuff, but he's exciting. And you like, Kwambi don't even eat pussy. My dude eat pussy. He eat pussy good. But Kwambi, the crazy shit that this nigga does is, but he's toxic as a motherfucker.
Which means I can't leave my husband because
right.
I can't leave my dude.
You can't. But you want to. That because what happens then is now you showing up at Kwambi's house looking like a raccoon because your makeup running because you're crying and you saying you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me.
But I think we always make
what you mean you gonna stop? What you mean we need to end this? You can't. And he like, you married? I don't care.
So when my sneaky link gotta go home to her husband and I can't stand it.
Yeah.
But I think we always classify it as and more look at it more from the woman being the one who's like, I can't let go because the sex is so good.
But
it's
what
dudes
about the
men that do the crazy stuff?
Listen.
Like I have had a dude roll up on me because it was a particular time of night and he felt like I looked a certain way, like I was still dressed for the day or whatever, that something had to be going on and I shouldn't be outside looking like that and at this time of day and whatever. And I know you was doing something because what are you doing here? And I couldn't, like, it was just all kinds of crazy. And I'm not a person who tastes toxic. I'm not really scared of people who's supposed to be my people, but I was kind of like, this nigga is wildin'. Like, I ain't scared of you, but I need to like put my phone on like speed so I can push something. Because why are you tripping? I mean, I can't even explain without going into too much detail how much tripping and just like going off. And because I had never seen him that way, I didn't think it was sexy, but I was like, well, I guess he liked me.
I guess he liked me.
Like, I guess he liked me because he was losing his shit. Now, ain't shit happened, but he losing his shit about the thought of something possibly happening. I remember like at one point saying, I think I'm gonna leave or I'm gonna go to another room or whatever. And then it was like, if you leave this room, I was like,
oh shit,
I'm trying to save myself.
You almost
like,
died.
I'm trying to let you I'm trying to let you calm down and give you your space.
You almost died
because I feel like, you know, I think you've been drinking a little bit and you come in here on some rah-rah because you haven't been with me during the day. And I think that little naive drunk corner of his mom was like, you're not supposed to look halfway decent unless you with me type thing. Like, we ain't been together, so you should look like a ragamuffin.
That's toxic shit.
Yeah,
that's toxic shit.
Yeah, that whole shit and shebang was toxic as fuck. But it was weird because it was.
But you stayed or you left?
In general, in the relationship.
In general, yeah.
Stayed because. And I'll say this, it wasn't
what your endorphins was doing.
No, because my endorphins said, bitch, you should leave. My endorphins grew up in an apartment building, like I have said many a times, when people get their ass whooped, and I don't believe in getting my ass whooped. And so I was like, I'm gonna go. Like, that was what my endorphins was saying was, be safe, bitch. Like, lay down until you can leave.
Yeah.
But the thing was, it wasn't something maybe I shouldn't have stuck around to see whether it was a regular behavior, but it wasn't a regular behavior. It hadn't happened before that and hadn't really happened after that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, you know what? I think it was one of those moments, and this is just me thinking, I've never been, got any confirmation from that particular person, but that was the moment they actually realized they liked me or they were guilty about something. And it was probably both in that particular relationship. Like the thought that it was possibly somebody else that could have been in the picture, that
the blame game
and all that kind of stuff, I think kind of enraged them, which that happens for men and women. Like, it's one thing to think somebody, I think my person fine or whatever, but it's like, oh, she think you fine? What the fuck is that about? Like, so you automatically.
God damn, you want a motherfucker to look like the goddamn hunchback coming through to everyone else. You want him to look like that to everybody else.
No, not actually me. I probably am toxic in this way. I want you to appreciate him. I want you to look back at him. I want you to think that, but I also want you to know that nigga no. Like, I want you to appreciate it. I want you to think, okay, I see you. You know how that's how men and women. Okay, like whatever. Like, true. I can't say nothing about any particular parts, but I want you to be like, yeah. I don't want nobody to be like, that's you. That's fucked up right there. Like, that's toxic too. I gotta break up with you now because the gang.
But I told you that earlier when we were having a conversation, that I felt like that was toxic, that you would be like, they can't come hang with us because they don't look right.
You did. I don't care.
She told me, go ahead and tell them the story.
You tell me.
She told me that she would have conversations with her husband about who could hang with them and not, based on how they looked and how they dressed and stuff like that.
Listen.
Toxic as a motherfucker.
No, because what do they say? Hoes of a feather flock together. Ain't that what they say?
I guess birds of a
because y'all like to say women. If your friend a hoe, then y'all all hoes.
No, I don't like
If a man if he a hoe, then all of the niggas is out there doing dirt, like whatever. So if they look dirty, then they think we all dirty.
It's not quite the same.
It's a little bit. It's not the same. Like, you can't go. Like, I'm just saying. Look.
It's not the same. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna co-sign that shit.
You ain't gotta co-sign.
I'm not co-signing that shit.
My shit is notarized. I believe in that. Like, I need you to just be up to par a little bit. Like, I'm not saying you have to be over the top. I've been known to be a little bit over the top sometimes and be like, yeah, you doing too much or whatever. But I do feel like so listen.
She's sitting up. She getting ready to get into it. Go ahead. You did a Leona.
If you I did a lyric. I hit a lick.
Yeah.
But okay, so listen, you ever been in a group of people or with somebody and like, one person is they not that. They not it. But they cool. They still your people or whatever. Yeah. So you're talking like man, I used to mac these hoes, I used to do this, I used to do that, whatever. And then the dude with like the droopy eye and one tooth, the FUBU turtleneck, and a cross colors over shirt, be like, nah, me too. You like this, and you like, and then everybody like,
the fuck?
That's what exactly. Yeah. So I don't want the fuck to be hanging out with me. Like I don't want like let's just save that God. Because first of all, I'm very sarcastic and I'm gonna make if you in my crew, you got to be able to take a joke because I'm a jokester because I've been having to take the butter jokes for my entire life, being thin and small and the baby girl and all other kind of stuff. I've had to build a thick skin, so I kind of assumed at times that everybody has a thick skin.
As we all should.
But we don't, especially in this day and age.
Right.
And so you can't come if you can't know that you not the one. If you saying, man, you used to sleep with all them girls, me too, I slept with so-and-so since then, whatever. You like, no, you didn't. And just things like that. Or like, if you trying to be me or be them, when we have a conversation, like I can't say I did this because, like, I remember I went mountain climbing this one time, whatever. Nigga, I climbed a mountain bigger than that.
I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro
and
there,
stuff like that.
On,
and then it's one thing for you already doing that, but then you doing that and you don't even look the part.
Yeah,
it's
it's a thing.
It's a thing, and I ain't saying it's right because we.
But there was some toxic shit. I'm not gonna back off of that. But
I have said and I have admitted that I'm a little bit shallow.
A little shallow. Being shallow.
I don't want to wake up and shiver. I don't really care how good your heart is. Your heart ain't on your face.
Wake up and shiver.
That's what I gotta wake up to.
So I want to say
be a little bit. I need a meeting.
I want to say this. I want to say that.
And somebody think I'm ugly as fuck too, so I feel like it's balance.
Yeah, there's balance in the universe. But here's what I'm saying. Like, I read that in a toxic relationship, you might consistently feel drained or unhappy after spending time with your partner. Now that, listen, that's some crazy shit. But even relationships that aren't habitually toxic,
sometimes that happens.
That happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Sometimes you be like, nigga, I need a break from you. Like not today.
It's an off day.
Not today. I need an off day. Because let me tell you something.
You're having an off day. You're with your person and it's like usually.
The shit just, nothing is connected. Nothing is
aligning. Yeah. Like, we having an off day.
And because you have an off day, you need an off day. Because let me tell you something I noticed about a woman, about women.
Here we go.
Woman will say, you can spend the whole day with her, the whole night with her, maybe 2 days, 2 nights. But maybe for whatever reason, you're not in the mood to clap cheeks, right? And she like, I thought I was going to get me something. He acted, I don't want to, right? And then maybe it's a day when you like, hey, I ain't got a lot of time to spend, but I'm trying to smash real quick. And then it's like, women are never fucking satisfied.
She going, I'm pretty sure she not.
She's dancing like we represent
I know,
the lollipop.
I don't know. I'm picturing Mabel King.
I'm telling you, like, the shit crazy. But that's some toxic shit. I'm mad if all you want to do is hit, and I'm mad if all you want to do is spend time. But so I guess they are asking for a balance of let's spend time and smash.
Yeah, so why is that toxic? Because they want a balance.
I mean, wanting balance isn't toxic, but it's toxic when it's okay for you to slut me out.
But on the average.
But if I decide.
On the average.
If I want to slut her out.
Men slut out women way more than women slut out men. Like, come on now. Like, come on. Be serious.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
I believe in what they call an equal
slutting.
playing field. I was gonna say a balanced playing field. Yeah.
No. So I feel like if it's cool. Sometimes time is what you want. Sometimes relations are what you want. And sometimes both people are not on one accord. But if one person is okay in sacrificing for the other person, and the other person is taking more advantage, they have more control over whether it happens or it doesn't happen, it does become, a tug of war about it, because we're not getting what we want at the same time. One person is not completely fulfilled because, okay, it's going to be a quickie. Nothing wrong with quickies. Quickies are the bomb.
But women will say that. I like quickies. Ain't nothing wrong with quickies. And then you try to get a quickie and they...
But it's one thing to get a quickie.
Nigga, damn. Don't take it then. But you gonna get them. You gonna miss me when I'm gone. Start talking in riddles and shit.
It's okay. But see, I think what men don't realize
That's not a riddle.
They say, okay, this one gonna have to be a quickie. All right, cool. Yeah. I'm down with it. We gonna have a quickie. And then, days go by, you cool, everybody, you talking or whatever, you want some. It's like, hey, what about you coming over? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna come. And then you come, and then you like, but this gonna have to be a quickie. It's like, oh shit, the last one was a fucking quickie. Okay. So let me finish my scenario. Okay, so the last one was a quickie. But okay, we gonna okay, now this is not you calling, now it's them. Now you done had 2 quickies because they done had the time. They don't have the time for whatever reason. Then it's them. It's like, you know what? I really want some head. Okay. So now on this part, this woman has had 2 quickies, which quickies don't usually mean that we get what we don't get the full shebang. It's usually,
I'm not following. I don't understand. Say it.
Quick.
Make it plain. Make it plain for the people.
Quickies usually don't mean to do licky stickies.
Oh, okay.
He just stickies.
Yeah. Well.
Or whatever. Or it's kind of,
we just started doing that in the past 20 years.
Shit. Thank God for me. Meeting the right one at the right time.
Oh, God.
Because I ain't never lacked of that. But, so if it's 2 quickies, no licky sticky, just quickies, which means most of the time, only the man is going to nut. That does not mean that the woman doesn't enjoy it, because that's not a truth. Okay. And then the third time, now this is the third encounter, and he's like, I want some head, but I don't have time to really, blah, blah, blah. So you done had 3 sexual encounters that ain't had nothing to do with you.
All sexual encounters have something to do with us.
No, I'm a participant, but I have serviced you without being serviced, or serviced, or
that's where men
without having minds fulfilled. And then when it's the 4th time and I'm like, you know what, I don't even want it. I don't even want the quickie.
That is where
then
men
they're like, well, I don't understand, I'm about to spend time with you. No, you about to give me another quickie. And I don't want another
But
quickie.
if you been with the nigga all motherfucking day, like this is the type of shit I used to deal with. Motherfucker been with me the entire fucking day. We done goddamn shot basketball. Like, this is no bullshit. We done shot basketball. We done went and bought sneakers. We done ate lunch. We done went and watched TV. We done took showers. We done went to dinner. You know what I'm saying? We done went and went to fucking Sky Zone or somewhere. Like, we just been
full day
doing all kind of shit. Went to the mall and shit. You know what I'm saying? We done sat outside and fed the pigeons, walked around the lake.
This is a damn 28-hour day.
No, I'm saying, like, we've been together the entire fucking day, spending time, loving on each other with the little pets and the kisses and all of that type shit. And then it's like, all right, so it's late. I have to work in the morning. You have to work in the morning. I don't know. I gotta go let my dog out, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but I would appreciate a little bit of time inside the cookie shop, the sugar shack.
Okay.
Right? And then it's like, well, we got to hurry up though. Right? And then it's like, hey.
Okay.
Well, so here's
I hate this thing. No, I don't know what woman is coming in.
But that's how I see it when they throw in a tantrum. I'm gonna find somebody who's
I gotta
gonna
work on my tantrums. Like, I don't want my dude to be looking at me like that.
Like one of my partners told me, he said that the girl was like, I'm gonna find somebody that can spend some time with me when whatever, because I don't know what they were going through, but this is funny. It was funny to me. She said, I'm gonna find somebody that could spend some time with me and screw me like I want to be screwed. He said, well, I'm gonna find somebody that I ain't got to lift her belly up to get to.
Oh my gosh!
Oh Jesus!
Listen, you know what? I gotta move now. I gotta
what do you mean?
I gotta leave town. Somebody
Why?
said that to me.
No, he said that. It was funny, but when I think about it, I know that was some hurtful shit for
Unless
her.
they have that kind of relationship.
No, you can't. Okay. If you are the woman.
Some people, they crack jokes on each other.
Yeah, that's true. But if you are the woman that is okay with a motherfucker telling you, I'm going to find me somebody that I ain't got to lift her stomach up to get to her coochie, and you're going to find humor in that and laugh and not be hurt at all, send me a message on Instagram at the Cognac Room Podcast.
So I always get
and
skinny jokes.
Tell me that's you.
No matter whether the person loves me or whatever, I get the jokes about being thin or whatever. And
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I've gained a little weight. I'm not fat and sloppy, but I have put on a few pounds. Guess what? Fat jokes offend me. I don't give a fuck.
But I've been offended all my life, so I have a thick skin when the joke comes at me, and that's what I was just saying earlier. I got a thick skin when it comes to certain things, and I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, you got that one, like, because I'm the first one.
Because nobody has to lift your belly up to get to it.
Yeah, but they also got to take a magnifying glass to find my boob. So either way, oh, shit. A joke is a joke, but I think. Everybody can be toxic in a relationship, and sometimes it's toxic when your person doesn't realize that you're in need of something.
Why do we like it? That's the premise. Why do we like it?
Because sometimes it's rush,
provocative,
right? It gets the people going. Yeah. Sometimes a little toxic is a rush.
So what toxic does, though, if I'm honest with you, toxic makes you feel important. It makes you feel desired. Yeah. It makes you feel powerful in a sense.
Like I said, with the person that was having the fit or whatever, it was kind of like, I was like, you're a little crazy. And I don't know, whatever. But I was like, I think he likes me. Like, there was a part of me that was like, like, we ain't about to lay hands. Like, if he would have laid hands on me or tried to, grab me or something like that, I don't know that I would have felt that way. But because it was just like, I promise I'll get you. Like it was the threat without the force or whatever. And it was like showing their teeth or whatever. Because, sometimes if somebody's nice, you kind of,
she used
like,
my
or whatever.
saying.
What?
Showing your teeth.
As much as my saying says he's still out here.
You earned it. You deserved that.
Right,
one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was a little bit of showing the teeth, and I was kind of like, okay, all right, okay, I hear you. You know what I mean? But and I'm not gonna say in the moment I thought it was attractive. I think once the calm down and we talked or whatever, it was just, and it was explained that like I was for real jealous. I was kind of like, what are you doing? And, thinking that you could possibly be with somebody else. And I don't want that or whatever. I did kind of was like, okay, like they're feeling me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird thing. It's like, don't beat my ass. And tell me you're going to beat my ass. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
But see, that's some toxic shit. Don't beat my ass. Tell me you're going to beat my ass. But see, is it toxic when you sleeping with a woman and she like, choke me, pull my hair?
No, that's a good time.
No, that shit toxic too.
No, it's not.
Because you asking a motherfucker to be violent with you. And the shit you asking him to do when he find that you've been texting David and he does that shit, same choke.
It's different.
It's the same, but it's the same choke.
It's different.
So in closing, I have a question.
All right.
My question is, aside from your research, why do you think you've chosen personally to have you, first of all, chosen to deal with or to stay in toxic situations at any point in your life? And if so, why was it personally, your personal reason?
I'm pretty sure I have, even when I think about it, even through school, like middle and high school, certain relationships that I encountered, even though, we feel like it was 3 years, it was only the summer or, spring break, whatever. But there were a lot of things that I did or situations that I was in that would definitely be deemed some toxic behavior if they were analyzed today, like being with the dude who had the stolen car and jumping out and whatever, and that was it was not a big deal. Or being with the dude who had
y'all be calling toxic.
Well, no, but you're selling drugs, you have a stolen car, and I'm in it. You don't tell me that the car is stolen. We running from the police.
Is it possible to have a toxic person but not be in a toxic relationship? Is that even possible?
I don't know.
I think it is.
How?
If you were with someone, yeah, that's your person.
Okay, go ahead.
If you're with someone who is toxic to the environment, to the world,
but not to you. And that was where I was going. I put myself in situations.
Yeah.
Because even though that thing happened, that person didn't treat me the same way they treated outside people.
Okay.
Like they say, date a man who's good to the waiter and to the help and whatever, and treats them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not that I'm the waiter or the help, but but you
could have been. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, it's like, let's stick this fork in this outlet, but a little shock is good enough for me. Like, but I've definitely saw somebody, and I think I was telling you this earlier, and like, we had so much fun together. We were cool. We clicked, whatever. But the more and more they talked, I was like, this is not going to go anywhere. This person right here is not going to probably benefit my life in any
that
way.
Does happen.
Besides that, we have a good time together. I'm probably not going to, and this was early on, like, probably just going to be a notch on their belt or whatever, but I want to be on the belt.
What is it about you? Self-reflection. Mm-hmm. What is it about you that chose that chose toxic? Because that's something I want to address.
Yeah, because I did. I chose.
Sometimes we know toxic before we even get involved. You knew the motherfucker was toxic when she was setting trash cans on fire, but you still wanted to get in the club.
Yeah.
And then you got in the club. You knew she was toxic. Left eye. Don't know how or why.
Yeah.
He knew she was toxic.
But he was toxic as well. Yeah. They were both toxic. They both did.
Well, maybe that's what it is. When you're toxic together,
you don't see it. Or
maybe you see it,
but
as
it's
normal.
Like, this is us. We cancel each other out.
Two crazy motherfuckers don't make a sane motherfucker.
But they understand where the crazy is coming from the other person.
Not really.
A lot of times they do. Like, because when you try to break up two crazy people, what do? Don't do it like that. He don't always, like,
yeah, they defend each other.
They defend each other.
Yeah, they definitely defend each other.
But if one person is crazy, the other one not, they're like, kill that, kick that nigga ass. You ain't gonna hit me like that. Yeah. Or like, what's old girl? What's love got to do with it? Ike slapped Tina. Tina rolled across the ice. No, he slapped the background singer.
Yeah.
She said, you ain't got to hit me but one goddamn time, and I'm out. But Tina took all of those hits. She watched her take those hits.
I don't know. I feel that was definitely toxic, but I feel like it was more because of the music and the
no matter what, it's still something that's holding you in that toxic
I'm living my dream.
I ain't living my dream, get my ass beat soon as I get off the stage.
Don't matter.
Because I'm living
You
my
broke
dream.
my nose, but the world knows me.
So
Anyway.
okay, good night.
Good night.